Thank you for your interest and purchase of the Ohd Quantifit. Your instrument represents the latest and most advanced technology in the field of respirator fit testing. Using superior and highly accurate controlled negative pressure, your instrument will provide years of service even in the most demanding environments. We have designed the Quantifit as a response to years of research and recommendations from the industry leaders. Lightweight and portable with a rugged exterior, the Quantifit provides an exceptionally friendly user interface, streamlined to facilitate ease of use and time-saving operation. This video presentation will give you a broad overview of operation and proper procedure for performing a respirator fit test. For more details on settings and protocols, always refer to your owner's manual. Controlled negative pressure, or CNP, is a process of evacuating air from within a facepiece to generate and maintain a constant negative pressure. The rate of air evacuated is controlled to such a degree that a constant negative pressure is maintained in the respirator during the test. With pressure held constant, airflow out of the respirator is exactly equal to the airflow or leak rate into the respirator. The first step is to set up and power on the Quantifit. Make sure you have plenty of room for both the operator and the test subject. The operator may remain seated for the testing, but the subject must be able to stand and bend forward. Make sure your test area allows enough room for movement during the testing. Your case contains all the cables and attachments needed to do a proper fit test. You'll need the power cable, the triple hose assembly, the white trigger button, and the fit test adapter. When inserting the power supply, the flat side should face up. When removing the power cord, you must pull on the portion with the flat top in order to release the cord lock. On the back of the instrument, you will also find connections for PC interface, USB ports for keyboard, printer, and memory stick, and calibration ports. On the front of the Quantifit, there is a selector called the optical sensor knob. You can turn this either clockwise or counterclockwise to select items on the menu screen. To enter a selection, press gently on the sensor knob. Also on the front are 4 soft touch buttons. Through these buttons and the optical sensor knob, all of the functions and menu items on the Quantifit are accessed. Most menu items may also be accessed through the included keyboard by using the cursor arrows and the Enter key. When the Quantifit is turned on, the screen will prompt you to do a daily calibration. It is highly recommended that a calibration be performed each day of use. If you have already done a calibration and wish to continue testing, you can bypass this function by pressing Exit. The first step to be performed is the zero pressure calibration. This is done to remove any residual pressure resident in the system and establish a zero base for testing. To do this step, simply remove the triple tube set if connected and press Enter by pressing on the knob. The Quantifit will automatically remove residual pressure and set itself to 0. Once the unit is zeroed, the next step will be a dual tube calibration. You'll notice there are 2 clear tubes and 1 blue tube. The 2 clear tubes are a part of the triple tube assembly, and these are referred to as the dual tubes. The screen will prompt you to connect the dual tubes to the front and back of the Quantifit. One end of the dual tube has a male and female connection. These will be connected to the flow and pressure connections on the front of the unit. Although not necessary for the calibration, you may want to connect the blue tube to the valve port at this time. Connect the opposite ends of the clear tubes to the dual tube cal ports on the back of the instrument. It does not matter which port you connect them to since they are interchangeable. Now you're ready to begin the calibration. Press the knob to begin the calibration. The dual tube calibration will run 8 different flow rates and will take approximately 1 minute to complete. This calibration confirms that the Quantifit is operating properly and within specification. When the calibration is complete, the results are saved into the internal memory of the Quantifit. The Quantifit stores only the most recent calibration. To print a copy of the calibration, select Print. If you are running the FitTrack software, you can save the calibration data in the computer database. We'll discuss that process later in this presentation. If for any reason you wish to do a second daily calibration, you can go to the Dual Tube Cal under the System menu and repeat this procedure. Before beginning the test, you must make sure the inhalation valve on the mask is either removed or propped open. You may use tubing, straws, or any material that will keep the inhalation valve open during the test. If this does not occur, the inhalation valve will not allow the Quantifit to exhaust the air out of the mask and measure the proper leak. As the Quantifit tries to remove air from the mask, the inhalation valve will inadvertently create a seal, which would inhibit the Quantifit from removing air and monitoring leak inside the mask. Have the test subject don the mask according to the manufacturer's instructions. The best method for this is for the subject to place his chin firmly in the chin cup and push the mask up against his face. Then he would pull the straps just snug enough to hold the mask to his face, starting with the chin, then the temple, and then finally on top of the head. Then make another round on the straps to make sure they are tight. Be sure that no hair gets under the rubber seal, as this will cause considerable leakage in the mask. You can connect your tube assemblies to the mask either before or after donning, whichever is easiest. There are various types of adapters used to connect the Quantifit to the respirator. Some are one-piece and some are two-piece. On the two-piece style adapter, you'll connect the clear dual tubes to one adapter and the blue tube to the other adapter. On the one-piece adapter, the clear dual tube generally snaps onto the side where the double ports are, and the blue tube snaps into the front of the adapter. Once the adapters and tubes are connected to the respirator, the subject may want to do a user seal check. This is not required, but may help to identify leak or proper fit before the test begins. For a proper seal check, the subject should press and hold the seal check button, and then inhale and hold, creating negative pressure within the mask. Hold the seal for 10 seconds to make sure the pressure holds for the duration of that time. If the seal is good, the subject will feel the mask sag and drop somewhat as he releases the seal check button. If the mask does not drop afterwards, it indicates that there was a substantial leak, and it would be advised that the test subject readjust the straps and/or mask before continuing. You are now ready to begin the fit test. There are a number of protocols available on the Quantifit. OHD recommends using the read-on protocol for all air purifying respirators and the SCBA protocol for all SCBA respirators. We've selected the read-on protocol for this training demonstration. Under the Test menu, turn the selector knob to highlight Read-on and then press the knob to accept your selection. If the keyboard is connected, you will be prompted to enter test information including ID number, name, mask size, and type. You can select Clear All Test Subject Data to clear all fields, or simply type over the existing information. To move to the next entry field, simply press the selector knob or the Enter key on the keyboard. After entering test operator name, you can then select Done Entering Subject Data. If there is no keyboard attached to the Quantifit, you will not be prompted for this personnel information. The operator would have to complete this information on the printout at the end of the test. When no keyboard is connected, the operator must choose between a half-face and full-face mask. The test subject will stand as still as possible and face forward as instructed in the first step of the protocol. Instruct the subject not to breathe, exhale, or swallow, but remain completely still until the test is finished. Explain that he will take a comfortable breath, not a deep breath, and hold it during the 8 seconds of the test. When the test subject is ready and is holding his breath, he can press and hold the trigger button until the test has been completed. At the end of the 8-second measurement, the valve will automatically be released and the test subject can breathe normally. At this time, he can release the trigger button. If the test has met the minimum passing criteria, including a minimum passing fit factor, the operator will be prompted to begin the second step of the protocol. If for some reason the operator wants to redo the previous step, he may select Retry Previous Step. Read aloud the instructions on the fit tester to bend over and hold breath. The subject will bend at the waist and face the floor, allowing gravity to pull on the mask. He will then take a breath and press and hold the trigger button. Hold for 8 seconds and release the button, just as in the first step. In the third step, have the subject shake his head vigorously side to side a couple of times and exhale forcefully. Ask the subject to stop shaking his head, then hold his breath as before and face forward. Push and hold the trigger button and wait 8 seconds for the end of the test. In the fourth step, the subject must completely remove the respirator and let the straps out. Then he will re-don the mask and resume procedure just as before, but this time facing forward. The fifth step duplicates the previous step. Each read-on step is critical in recognizing potential problems in the donning of the respirator. The fit factors produced after each read-on can reveal problems the subject may have when donning and adjusting the respirator. Once you save the final read-on step, verify the mask model and size before saving the test. The Quantifit will display the overall fit factor and the percent of leak rate in the machine's display. You can view or print the results of the fit factor as these options are shown. In this demonstration, we will print the results by pressing Save and Print. Or you can save the test, which will become a part of the onboard data log under the System menu. Any test saved here can be printed and viewed at a later time. If the keyboard is connected, the operator and test subject simply sign the appropriate place on the bottom of the report. The read-on test is now complete. If there is no keyboard connected to the Quantifit, the operator will fill in the subject's name, ID number, mask manufacturer, and size. Then the test subject and operator will sign the bottom of the form. After loading and opening the FitTrack software, connect the Quantifit to your computer through a USB port with the provided USB cable. When you open the software, you first see the password screen. You can later assign a password, but when one has not been assigned, you simply click Enter. Then you will see the operator login window. The program defaults to the user who last logged into FitTrack. You can choose the user displayed by clicking OK, or look for a name on the drop-down list. If the name does not appear, simply type in a username. A window will pop up to confirm that the software found a Quantifit connected to the computer. You will then be asked if you want to retrieve the calibration data. Click Yes if you would like to store the calibration information in your database, or No to bypass this option. When opening the program for the first time, you will need to create a company/location account. Simply fill in the data fields. There are 3 custom fields at the bottom that you can change for your convenience. The Custom For field is a security field that will not print out on the reports. When starting out, you'll need to add personnel data to your database. To add a person, click on the Add button located in the center of the right panel. On the Personnel Details screen, you may fill in any information that is necessary for your record keeping. No fields are required, but you must utilize at least one field to create the record. When you have completed the personnel information, click on Next. You will now assign a respirator to that person. Click the Add button on the bottom left of the window. The first time you enter this screen, you must add a respirator to your selection list. Click the Add button on the right side of the window. Fill in the appropriate information for the respirator you wish to use. If you are using numerous brands of masks, enter each one in this section. Click on the middle Protocol tab to select the protocol you would like to use for this test. The protocol you select will become the default protocol on future tests until you change the protocol selection again. When finished, click Next. You are now ready to perform a fit test. You can choose various run options. If you choose Run Step, the software will only perform one step at a time. Auto Step will prompt the user to the next step after each save. If you choose Auto Save, the software will advance to the next step and wait for the subject to push the button. For speed and ease of operation, we recommend using Auto Save. The name of the test shows across the top of the test step window. To see detailed instructions for that particular step, click on View Instructions. When viewing the test on the computer screen, you are able to view a more detailed graph line while the test is taking place. After the step, you can clearly see if the step passed or failed, and you will see the resulting fit factor. All data and information will be saved to the database. After the protocol is finished, you will be prompted to save and print the test. If Print to Window is checked under the System menu, the test will first print the results to your computer screen. At that time, you can click on the print icon in the window bar to send to the printer. If Print to Window is not checked, the test will automatically go to the printer. If the test is still up on the screen, close the window, and you're now ready to begin another test by choosing another person from the personnel list. If that person is not listed, you can add the test subject by clicking the Add button on the right side of the screen. You have now completed basic instruction for using the Quantifit. This video is intended to be used as an overview and not as comprehensive training. Always refer to your owner's manual for more detailed instruction. We are excited to have you as a part of our Quantifit family of users. The speed and accuracy of this technology sets it far and above all other methods of fit testing. By following the simple instructions presented in this video, we are confident that you will be greatly pleased with the fit test results using your Ohd Quantifit. If you have more questions, visit our website at www.ohdUSA.com. You may also contact OHD customer support toll-free at 888-464-3872.